I was placed in front of Brian Glenn. Brian Glenn is on the American Voice News now.
Mm-hmm.
He is their new correspondent.
Oh, okay.
So, national campaign correspondent Brian Glenn joins the MAGA movement to President Trump.
Oh, okay.
Among other things, that's what they were reporting on. But it's the Real American Voice News.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know this area better than I do. There you go.
Brian Glenn, the MAGA
So he
movement.
was interested in the articles, which I can kind of throw out you here in a minute. I'll tell you what
Okay.
I'm working on. I see what you have going on here.
Yeah, and see, this is like my studio, but now I'm associated with Connect to Your City, which is like right down the street from where the rally was on Cave Creek, well, up the street at uh, between Thunderbird and Greenway. It's where the main broadcast studio is. But I've got to do what I got to do because all the time.
This is your man
Yeah,
cave.
yeah. This is where everything
Oh, it went away. Sorry. I
starts out. Oh,
apologize for
yeah,
that.
starts out, and that information is good information that we need to have, and that uh, citizens need to be aware of, so that
Well,
they'll be able to expect.
okay. So I'm waiting for an email to come back because we were discussing a couple of different things.
Mm-hmm.
And being is that he just joined this team,
Mm-hmm.
I looked at it and they're covering everything from everything.
Oh, okay.
So affiliation with that in general would also be a boost
Oh, yes.
in
Mm-hmm.
all aspects because then I need to figure out who this gentleman is. You know him but don't. Okay, also was I need to give you a different email because or an email. When you're ready.
Okay. I was going to be ready for that.
Who is this?
I'm not sure who that is.
I
Let me
have it.
see.
I have it on video.
Uh
So
huh.
his name is on the video because that's what I have learned to do. I miss things with photos, and when
Okay.
your
Let me.
introductions, when your introductions are on video, of course you know who's who and what's what.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
going to Google his face, but anyway, he is. It was all about the candidacy, and he's representing the brick wall.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that was about.
Okay.
Um,
Fantastic.
let me see. You sent the pictures of. Let me get over here. And I was doing video and pictures, so I have yet to put names in here because, like I said, it's a new phone. So I had just turned it on at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go find this. Um, and he is also here locally as well.
Okay.
And you said you took the picture, so but I did not. His name is in the.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find it.
And tell the audience exactly who you are, Miss TJ.
Oh wait, I don't even have any makeup on.
This is Miss TJ. She is the number one Trump supporter in Arizona, in case you didn't know.
Yes, and we're gonna make this happen.
we
We are going to become united as a whole for the people and for our rights as a whole, because that's what it's about.
That is what it is about. We the people.
That is exactly
For a more perfect union.
Exactly. I believe in us, don't you?
No, come on. I've been here for a long time, going on 74 years. So I'm I'm hoping for a victory for us.
Do we get to raise the flag?
We get to raise the flag. So
yes,
this is fantastic. And now, how long are you going to be in the Phoenix area? And what brought you here this weekend? Like you got here yesterday, kind of sort of.
That remains to be seen. I'm going to go where I can collect the information I need, because I do believe in everyone in this country as a whole and what's best for us on all aspects, which is a lot of different subjects which I have been writing on for quite some time, and I'm ready. And I think that everyone would be interested in a lot of those topics, because it's going to address a lot of different things for the better. And when people start realizing that some of those topics are more important than what has been given attention to in the past, I do believe that they will jump on board. And I do believe that they will see, once they're educated, that we can be united as a whole, and we need someone to stand up for us and not be afraid to do the right thing.
What? Now, where are you from originally?
Originally from Florida. I am a military brat.
Okay.
I come from a military family, absolutely.
Okay, so and your father, what branch of service?
We did, Air Force, Navy.
Oh, okay.
For the most part. I was actually born at the military base, so I grew up there.
Okay.
Aviation is great.
Okay. Hey, the hat. Okay.
Aviation is great.
Okay, so now, and so what brought you to? What's your background? What's your education background?
Well, as a younger person, it was entertainment and designing and building businesses for restaurants and clubs, family lumber companies, shoe shops, city hall. Then into legal assistant, research for some of the more renowned colleges, medical research, ending up at the National Institute of Health in the NORD.
Right.
So I have a very large interest in the medical field as well, which is a lot of my research on things that do not get done correctly. There needs to be more specifics and the protocols, the guidelines, and accountability.
Right.
And that's in medical. There a lot of venues there.
Oh, okay. Okay. Medical and entertainment. Okay, so you got a big passion for medical now, but the entertainment. So what got you into the entertainment business and clubs? What were you a singer, dancer?
Dancer.
Right.
I trained at Carnegie Hall. I also trained under Robert Modica at Carnegie Hall there. That was acting. And dancing or under Patsy Swayze.
Right.
And there I met Debbie Allen, which Debbie
really?
Allen Studios have been amazing. Absolutely. A lot of traveling.
Yeah, Debbie Allen, her son Byron Allen,
Yes.
owns more media content than any one man in the world.
They just had their street, actually, it was block party. It was huge.
Yeah,
I was there the week that they were putting it all together. It
really.
was a really great event. I watched that online. Yes, I
Yeah,
was unable to return to Los Angeles the following week,
right.
but
That
it was really great.
that is interesting because that is what I'm really trying to mimic his platform with this OTT system. And it's amazing that you would have some prior connection.
That's just a road trip right down the road, right down the street there.
Yeah, that is okay. So now, so what venues are some that you've been connected with, or nightclubs that you would say that everybody would probably know?
Well, gosh, I'm gonna tell my age now.
Oh God, don't worry, don't worry. Experience is not a problem.
Okay, so Studio 54 in New York City, we reopened that
Okay.
for a short period of time.
Hmm.
Then, of course, there was the Limelight. We were involved in some of that.
Right.
The Palladium also in New York City with Steven Greenberg
Right.
before he passed away, I believe in 2014.
Mhm.
I may be mistaken on that date, but yes, that was exciting. It was an exciting time of life. Um, there's been a lot of travels, a lot of events there.
Man, oh man, look, see, this is what happens. You never know. You got to ask the right questions. So, from now, have you did any entertainment out here in Arizona in any venues?
Actually, no, I am pretty much resurfacing. I've got a lot of phone calls to make.
Uh-huh.
I
Okay.
have a lot of plans this next week. I've got 14 articles that are drafted in my lap that I'm working on.
Uh-huh.
There is topics. I think that they will be quite interesting.
If there was a opportunity
Yes.
for you to open your own nightclub here in Phoenix,
Yes.
would you consider?
Right time, right people. Timing is everything.
With I'm talking about with you, the boss.
You still have to have a team.
Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah. You got to have a team.
So if the right team gets put together and
Mhm.
the opportunity is there,
Mhm.
sure.
Okay, okay. See it. She did. All right, you heard it here. She could do that. Manny, where you at? I know you might be listening. So look, bro, I think we might be on to something. Anyway. No.
We did at one time. We did have a really nice team put together and franchised out of the Comedy Zone.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of comedians. We listened to what they had to say, and it was a possibility. Everybody can use some laughter.
You are a psychic.
Everybody can use some laughter. We did a
Because
wonderful job with the Comedy Zone franchise.
because
Yes.
I'm not a comedian. I just say funny stuff.
Are you sure?
And I was been looking at hosting a comedy show with live music and some comedians. And it is amazing that you would be thinking along those parallel lines.
I think all the time. Sometimes my brain hurts because I think too much.
Well, that's okay. That's okay. We got a big brain we don't use, but a small percentage of it. So your brain is just trying to expand. Don't worry. If it aches a little bit, it's like saying it's what you do when you use the muscles when you work out, they get sore. You got to work through it. So you're on the right track. So we comedy club, entertainment. Man, we may be on to something here. Major comedy club. We've got like a couple of comedy clubs in Arizona, but it's always room for more laughter. No doubt.
There is.
Okay, so
But there's also a serious side too.
yeah, now you're in Arizona. How'd you get to Yuma?
How does anybody get to Yuma?
I am at a loss for that. I've never been to Yuma. As a matter of fact, I've never even been to Rocky Point, so don't blame me. But
Wow, you should take a trip down there. It's interesting.
yeah, well, I've got some friends. My silent partner in the upholstery side of this, Manny, with M&M, the other M in M&M upholstery, is in Rocky Point right now. I was at his house Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, working on uh, uh, classic Volkswagen for his, and he's got a shop full of classics. But they were getting ready to go to Rocky Point for Father's Day weekend. So everybody, him, his wife, and a couple of other family, they have property in Rocky Point. So they're like, oh, and he just retired. So he's like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. He was in Rocky Point for Memorial Day and stuff. I called him. I said, yeah, hey, what's going on, man? What's happening? He said, oh yeah, Mike. I can't talk to you right now. I have to talk to you when I get back. I'm like, where you at? He's, I'm in Rocky Point. I'm like, man, I don't want to talk to you.
That's great.
So now that he's retired, he's living his best life. So he's I've been knowing him for years, 20, 30, 30 years or so. So
Well, you asked about Yuma. Yuma has one of the most amazing events there, and it's called the Howling at the Moon.
the howling
The
at
Howling at
the
the
moon
Moon. All the proceeds go toward the wolves.
toward the wolves.
hmm
Oh,
And yes, it is a family event.
uh-huh,
It is of no cost. It is at the foothills, the foot of the mountains,
uh-huh,
and it goes on. Actually, you can go for the weekend. Some people get there on Thursday and stay through Sunday.
uh-huh.
They bring their motorhomes, they bring their side by sides, their four wheelers, motorcycles, trucks. It is basically a really fun event and it's of no cost.
Now, when does this happen?
Right now in the summertime, they take, I believe it's about a 2 month break or so.
Uh-huh.
And then when they start back, it's every full moon. Mhm. So every full moon, there are a few vendors. They will be probably looking for more vendors
Uh-huh.
this next year, I believe. They've got a little bit of everything.
Oh, okay. Howling at the moon.
Exactly. And you get there, I don't know, some people get there really early. Some people go right before dusk.
Uh-huh.
And when the moon shows itself, everybody
The-
howls.
Everybody howls. Oh.
So you asked about Yuma. That is one of the things that I have come to enjoy in Yuma.
Mm-hmm.
There's some amazing speakers there that attend the city on certain times of the years for events. I cannot even list all the people that were there last year. That was really enjoyable. Some of the events that they put on are really great.
Oh, okay.
And it's in the middle of nowhere, but it's great.
Right. Okay. So, see, you've got to let everybody know about this kind of events and
We do have an amazing military base.
right. Yeah. Oh, Fort Huachuca, was it? Is that what's the one? What's the fort in Huma? Somebody know? Put it in the chat. I think that's Fort what? No, where is it?
Yeah,
Anyway.
I'll give them something
Yeah.
to look up and respond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interaction. We
Yeah.
need some interaction here.
Yes. 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 Let's see. That's why we have Google and stuff. No longer do we have to be stupid. Military base in Yuma. Dun, 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 dun. Military base in Yuma. Marine Corps Air Station, Yuma Auxiliary. It's got to be like a major one. MCAS. What is MCAS? Marine Corps Air Station, Yuma. Okay, but there's a number of bases in Yuma. I think because I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Several branches.
Okay. San Luis, U.S. Yuma proving ground. Oh yeah, Yuma have the testing ground out there where they now. Uh,
I can get loud.
yeah, yeah. Because that's like Luke's Air Force Base. Luke's is a training facility.
Does it get loud too?
Oh, they are really loud. They tell all the residents, but all of the in Yuma, I'm not in Yuma, in by Luke's, the majority of the people out there are seniors. It's like Sun City West, and El Mirage like area. So and they're like, you move out here, at your own risk, and property's going to be nice, going to be reasonable, but the noise is going to be unbearable daily.
You get used to it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then people go out and watch the planes land and take off. It got so bad with the people lined up at the street that was right at the edge of the runway where it was fenced in. It was getting to be so many people there that the airport was complaining about the people were camping out. It was just they were creating a distraction for the planes landing. So they now it's like no parking in a lot of the areas around the military base. And then after what happened? Oh, I think was it during COVID? Was it? It was before something happened, and we went on some kind of after 9/11, the military base had been the military base had been open facility where you could go into the housing area. You could get no. It's all everything is walled off. So we are losing our freedom, unfortunately.
Well, that's not always a bad thing when it comes to certain things like that, because you have your special training, your special forces. You come from the South. I was raised also in the South. We had all the special forces and the training there for the SEALs, and also you have the Air Force bases there.
Yeah, and then I was air defense. I was Nike Hercules in the 70s. I was Nike Hercules fire control. I was the guy, and I was in California in a part of NORAD and stuff to watch for the anything comes this way. Shoot.
So you already know about that security.
Know about security. That is right. We were the guys that like the president says push the red button, we push the red button.
No red buttons.
So the button still exists. Don't worry and stuff. Don't do nothing crazy and stuff. We still got military power over here. So now, so you're in Yuma. You have children?
Yes, my children are grown. You're still telling my age here. They're grown. They're living their lives.
Okay. All right. Well, just checking. You're still attractive. So people got to check.
My. Well, thank you very much.
Still got to check and stuff. And me, I'm single, and my oldest daughter, one daughter, is in Mississippi and doesn't speak to me, as a matter of fact.
Oh my, that happens at times.
Well, yeah. She holds me responsible for her bad mother. I'm like, what is a guy supposed to do?
Or perhaps they're just making their way on their own journey.
Yeah, they will. Andy, I am here with Miss TJ, number one Arizona Trump supporter. And now I have Andy on the phone, the number two Arizona Trump supporter.
Well, hello, Andy.
I am for real. I'm doing a live show. I'm doing a live show. She came all the way down from Yuma and stuff, and she's in studio. We met at the Trump rally that you didn't attend. So
You missed it.
oh man. Oh look, listen. Wait, hold on. This guy calls me. Oh, that's right. We can't discuss it. Okay, we can't discuss it. All right, okay. Anyway, so how you doing? Oh, really? They're actually going to have to. Okay. All right. All right.
Well, hello, Andy.
She says hello, Andy.
Hello, Andy. So the point being here is that you had a very valid reason for missing the Trump rally. Is that correct, sir? Absolutely. That's all we need to know.
Nah, no, nobody say we just checking. We checking your Trump card and stuff. You know what I mean? Because yeah. All right, Andy.
Ask him if he even has his Trump card.
No, hey, Andy. Oh, he's hung up because
He
he's
hung up on you.
yeah, because he's in a serious okay, we'll turn this down.
Okay,
We're turning.
out.
Yeah. So that's not on the show. So anyway,
Are you serious?
yeah.
Wait, what dentist was that? I want to make sure I don't go there. I'm serious.
we're gonna talk about that dentist office later on.
We are.
Yeah, because there's some legal things going on because this just happened Memorial Day weekend. That Friday, he went to have something done, and that happened.
Oh.
And
no.
so, and the doctor didn't say give him a referral to go to emergency right then and get an X-ray to see where it was, how deep it was, blah blah blah, so they could try to extract it. And the doctor just said, it's good. It'll come out in your stool. And he went on.
Is that for real?
That's for real story, real story. And he's in the hospital now. He's been in the hospital now for about 4 days, 5 days, maybe. And
I'm speechless, and that doesn't happen very often.
And no, well, it's not supposed to ever happen because they're supposed to put this little net the back of your throat when they're doing that kind of work. They're doing bridges or whatever because they've dropped teeth, all kinds of stuff.
That goes right along with
I'm a phobic kind of person. I can't.
Look here, that's where protocols go into effect and accountability. Stricter protocols and
that's what. That's one of the things that you were talking about the Met. Dude, I'm talking to a medical lady. Oh, I'm sorry, he's gone. But see how things work.
Well, I've done a lot of research and worked with a lot of different cities, a lot of different states with medical and legal.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it needs to be pulled together. It affects a lot of different people of all ages. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now in formatting Trump TV, Trumpers, we're going to need Trumper support. Now,
Get
And
ready.
but I'm thinking this that Trump for that from Trump TV and or through Trump TV, everything Republican, everything conservative, everything American can be covered.
Well, this is the deal here. It is my opinion that there are things that we need more rights, but also as far as the conservative party goes, perhaps there's a few things that need to be put on the table where that conservability is, because conservative is not bad.
What?
It's not.
What?
It just realistically needs to be taken into consideration of what's necessary and needed for the people.
Right.
Because it's up to the people. And everybody's been divided. They've been divided by the different parties. They've been divided by race,
Mhm.
age, discrimination. And there's no reason that it can't be united and everybody realize what's actually important for the people.
For the people, by the people. You
That's
know,
right.
somebody who was that mentioned John F. Kennedy
Mm.
quote to me the other day, and some of you probably don't know because you're not really uh, politically or intellectually astute. But that's not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. And that's an old liberal Democrat, so to speak. And that is still a very important statement, you know. And most Americans look at the government from a what can I get, not what can I give. And that's from the core level of community and state. Because if you don't do anything for your community, like attend community events, and you don't participate in local politics, what's going on, where the road is going to be, what the utilities is going to go up, blah, blah, blah. If you don't participate in civic events, then you're not really being a good citizen.
Well, if you don't know that it's happening when it's happening,
Mm-hmm.
and it's happening without any acknowledgement.
And you know, the way the government looks at that is like ignorance of the law is no excuse. You know, it's like this guy, he famous rapper. Well, I can't remember now what his name is. Anyway,
How
he.
famous was he then?
Well, hold on. That yeah, I got him. But
I did not just say that. No, I didn't. I did not just say that.
She's aggressive. Okay, so check this out. He says, I didn't know I had to pay property taxes on houses I paid cash for.
It's a property tax. If it's a piece of property, there's a tax.
He says, because he had bought about 10, 15 houses over time, right? Me, house in the hood, like buying them all up, right? And turn them into rental property or whatever, right? So he just owns the property, right? And so every year you get a tax statement, but hell, he's all over the country doing songs and everything, right? So he's not paying attention to his tax liability for all these properties. So finally, he gets a notice that says if X amount of taxes are not paid on X property, you're going to forfeit the property. He's like, what? What's it? And I'm like, it pays to stay in school. It's the only thing I can tell you. Pays to stay in school. I know.
At least learn about that piece of property that you purchased. Oh my. Okay. Yes.
So,
Mhm.
So that was that. I was like, mm-mm. So sometimes because we're just not paying attention to the basics, when you get slapped in the face with some regular stuff, you're like, "Oh, I didn't know. Oh, what are we supposed to do about your not knowing? You know, the world is full of people that think they know everything.
All right, how about this one? When you go to a new state, let's say you're visiting. Let's say you're going to carry you have your concealed permit, such have you. Let's say you're in Chicago and they just changed the laws. Regardless of that, you don't get a pamphlet when you get off the airport what the
Right.
laws are. So
Yeah.
you don't know. You don't know when you're driving into that city what the laws are. You're
Right.
supposed to be responsible for knowing them,
Yeah.
but you really don't.
You know,
You think you do.
wait a minute, wait a minute. Let me give you one. A lady from North Dakota, South Dakota, drove to Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
She had a bong in her. She had a bong of a weed pipe in her car. Right. Okay. So the bong had water in it. Had solution. Had water because it was to cool the smoke. So the police pulls her over and says, "We smell marijuana. You mind if we search your car?" She's like, "Okay." I smoked it on. They find the bomb. And they're like,
and let me guess, it's illegal in that
wait a
state.
minute, hold on. I don't know if it's illegal in that state or not. But what they did was tested the water in the bong and found out
it was in her possession.
yes, and the water in the bong had methamphetamines residue or something, chemical content in the water. I don't know what kind of test you've got to test water in a weed pipe, but they figured it out. And they says, you know what? You could face up to 20 years for
What state was that?
Minnesota.
Oh, don't anybody get it there.
I was just shocked. I was just shocked that they tested the water. I'm like, dude, there's no weed in the bowl. Okay, let it go.
Would you honestly be surprised about anything these days?
No.
We lose our rights to a lot of different things.
Yes. But we you know what we do when somebody else is taking it hard by the law, we never go and stand up for them because we think, it's them, it's them, and then it's like the law is practicing on them to see if anybody else says anything, and if nobody says anything, everybody's like, maybe we can expand this. You know what I mean? Maybe we can make this bigger.
How about abuse of authority?
Well, yeah. You know, I because Arizona right now is Department of the police department is under federal investigation still. Now, my thing is, why don't we open up the police handbook, the training manual? Because if you see multiple police all over the country use the same tactic, you have to assume that it is part of the training, not something that they decided to do.
It is not. You have illegal leg swipes. You have kidney kicks or need a kidney. You have a lot of things that are done that are not supposed to be done, that are not in that training manual. I know for 100% fact.
Okay, so we need to open up the training manual because one of the tactics that we often see across the board with everybody is with a suspect on the ground with the officer's knee on the head or neck or back, shoulders.
Spinal cord.
Yeah, they do it all the time. So what we need to see before we talk about it too much, and they go in there and get some
That
indictments, because we need to see for sure in police training manuals what the officer is trained to do. One of the other things that the officers appear to be trained to do
mhm.
is when they fire until empty, not pop, pop, and check for the result. They're like, pop, 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 pop.
That becomes a gray area with the training manuals as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
because then you also have the implication that the officer is not only, well, supposedly it is supposed to be that they are to protect and serve.
Mhm.
However, the abuse authority at times gets put into place, and I use that broadly, in fact. Don't beat me up for that statement because it's
Mhm.
very true on some cases where their lives are in danger,
Mhm.
but there's other times that their lives are not in danger. Clearly not in danger. Clearly.
Clearly. You know what? There was just a case the other day, and I made a suggestion. We have they probably have it in Yuma through neighborhood app, the neighborhood app.
Oh, I'm sure they
Yeah,
do.
yeah, where all the people. But anyway, so there was an incident where a bicyclist, the guy who was on his bicycle, made a what the hell illegal traffic street crossing, meaning that he didn't cross at the light with his bike, right?
J bicycle
Yeah, yeah,
lane.
J bicycle crossing. All right, okay, or something. So anyway, so the police pull up. Hey, you stop! Got to talk to you. You know, you just and one police officer gets out and he's talking to the guy, and then the other, and when he gets out, gets ready to go, he turns on his body cam, right? And he gets out and he goes and talks to the guy, and they're talking to the guy like, hey, look, well, do you whatever, and so the guy is getting fidgety and stuff, and they was like, hey, well, he's acting weird. Maybe we gotta subdue him. We gotta get him under control here or something. Anyway, so one of the officers, they get a little aggressive. Finally, they are wrestling with the guy on the bicycle, right?
Mhm.
One officer is wrestling with him. He's wrestling with him, and the guy is screaming, "Help me! Help me!" I'm like, dude, you're with the police. Help? You should.
Mhm.
Who's gonna come and help you against the police? Just so he's screaming. Yeah, you can hear it on the body cam, right? Okay, so the body cam, one of the body cams gets knocked off. One officer is laying on the ground, just looking at the street, and but you could hear the audio,
Mhm.
and you could, and the other cam, you could, the officers is like right here, and they're all scuffling and scuffling, and the guy's like, "Stop! Help me! Help me!" And after a while, you hear, "Pow!" A gunshot. Okay, the bicyclist has a weapon, right? And so while he's saying, help me, he's trying to get to his weapon. Finally, he gets to the weapon and he fires one shot and shoots the officer. And I guess the officer must have falls back, and the other officer, pow, 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 pow. Right? Okay, they take him to the hospital. He dies anyway. But the situation is, okay, if you have and they show the body cam, because the police officer, the information officer is explaining this situation. You know how, well, you know, when officers leave the station, they click on the body cam, blah blah blah, and when they get ready to get out of the car, they turn it on. There's a little delay, blah blah blah, and then it's active and yada yada yada. Okay, well, it unclicks and comes on, right? Okay, so I'm like, why is the camera in the control of the officer?
Because that's what.
Hold on. That's where they got it. But
Mhm.
because they hook it on his uniform,
Mhm.
it shouldn't be on his uniform. It should be on his vest. And every officer in the field should have on a vest that's issued to them, and the camera is made
Is a
into
part of the vest,
is a part of the vest. He can activate it,
but not
but
deactivate.
he can't deactivate it, and he can't take it off. You know what I mean? So when he gets out of the car, it's activated or it self activates when he, but because they don't want to look at everything that the officer does.
Sure, they do. Why
Yeah,
not?
yeah. Why not? I'm glad you.
They're supposed to serve and protect.
Mm-hmm.
So anything on that camera would be not only justifiable or should be,
Yeah,
but it's to protect them as well as other
it says to
people.
protect the community. So
Mhm.
at that point, they should have at dispatch monitoring devices that are monitoring every officer's camera.
Where was the vehicle in essence to the bicycle in this incident? Where was the vehicle? Because they have cameras also.
Yeah, ooh,
I'm not finished. Are you ready for the rest?
They never showed any of the camera footage from the car. Oh,
Well, also, here I go. You ready?
Oh boy, you are too. Oh, you did say you did legal stuff.
Mhm.
Okay.
Number one, why was that bicyclist stopped? Number two, what right did they have to put their hands on him? You have a cell phone in your hand. That's part of your body.
Yeah.
Nobody's allowed to touch that cell phone.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So what right did they have to even get close enough to that man
Right.
for any of that
Altercation to happen?
Because usually in the chain of command in the protocols there, he would be asked to not get that close to them for their own safety.
Mhm.
Get this, for their own safety.
Right.
They are taught to keep their distance from that person. They're also taught in a lot of the training safe distance for the officer for his safety as well as that person's.
Right.
And you have to have a reason to approach someone.
Yeah.
Especially an officer.
Yeah.
Therefore, he should have most likely been, you can set them down over there.
Yeah. Get
any
his
kind
ID.
of questionable nervousness or anything like that. You don't know if that person doesn't have a medical condition and there's a reason for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know if they've had their meds or not.
Yeah.
Is there a threat here? Well, I don't know. Did they provoke this person and that become the threat?
Right.
Because if they were there to serve and protect, they should have kept their distance and asked their questions appropriately. They also asked if you have a weapon. At that time, you would be in your correct distance.
Right.
And he would be asked to safely, for the officer as well as himself at that point,
Right.
relinquish the weapon to the ground. There would be no reason that I can see for them to be that close, for anyone to put anybody's hands on anyone.
Y'all heard it here first. Another interesting situation happened at the county police station, right?
Mm-hmm.
Inmate has been transported in a van in waist cuffs and in shackles to a medical facility, picked up at the medical facility, put into the truck, pulls into the county, into the facility, parks, gets out of the truck, opens the rear doors, helps the guy out of the truck. He's got his hands to his waist like this. He helps him out of the truck. The guy is standing here. The officer does this. He turns his back to the inmate and sets something down. The inmate puts the cuffs around his neck and breaks his neck, gets in the van, and drives out of the gate. breaks through the prison gates and
The outcome.
because but they found that they caught him, but shucks, an officer's dead because of protocol. He turned his back on the inmates that you was talking about. Mm-hmm. He didn't maintain it.
Well, guess what? You have another thing there is that especially when inmates are being transported, there is what you would call a waist restraint, and in that waist restraint, those handcuffs are attached to
it. That's what they were supposed. That's what they were.
Had that had been done, he would not have been able.
Yeah, some kind of way. It may have malfunctioned or something, but for me, I walk up to the back of the van, open the doors, you're there, I get you out. I'm like, dude, I need you over there. I need you to stand over there, and I'm gonna close the door and keep my eye on you, and we're gonna proceed.
Here you go, protocols. First off, if they transported that person would be totally capable of taking himself out of that van. Okay? Because had he had not been able to do that and assessed medically unable to do that, he would have been medically transported.
Right.
Not transported in the van.
Yeah. And so just and everything, especially when you being a military person too, everything is protocol. Everything and medical, everything is protocol. Mm-hmm. And one tiny mistake, I'm going to skip this step today. That one step can cost you everything. You don't always get second chances to screw up, and somebody's going to always pay the price. You're a very interesting person. I'm just going to make a note here. TJ is very interesting. TJ is very interesting. So now.
Well, I would like to touch a subject.
Okay.
Because we need to educate. We needed to educate this country really quick on a few things. Because people choose what they think is Democratic or a Republican Party, and they think all these things are going to happen. Mm-hmm. And it is time that everybody will start saying what they can and cannot do for this country. They can make all the promises in the world. Let me tell you something. No, this is something that really gets me. People need to know this. Literally, let's go. Okay.
Listen.
Pay attention. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's say that you agree and you've decided you're going to vote one way or another because this person's told you this or that, and they're getting out there and they've got a great campaign going. You know what? Mm-hmm. They have people that back them financially. Those financial backers, mm-hmm. they want certain things.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm. That's why they're called financial backers. So this country needs to realize all those promises, they may not be happening because they're going to promise these things, but when it comes down to it, does it really happen? Mm-mm. A lot of the times, no. You know why?
Yeah.
Because one of those backers, I said, no,
we're not doing that.
And then even though the person you have voted for or want to vote for sounds really good, sounds great, and then they might even have it in their heart,
right?
But it's not going to happen. And that's why.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And that's why.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to potentially lose the financial backing that they count on.
Yeah.
To hold their political position. So people need to realize that, and they need to decide what's important. And we need somebody to be a president and run this country that doesn't exactly need all that.
That doesn't exactly need. Okay. So you're saying that we need to take the money out of politics.
Sure thing.
Y'all heard it here first
because
from TJ.
Because as long as money controls it, whoever has the money is the person who's they're going to be in control of
The
it.
golden rule. Who
Mm.
has the goal makes the rule.
I want somebody to run this country that's not afraid to speak out for the people and do what's best for the people. That's us. And that's where we become united. And that's what needs to happen.
This is what needs to happen. People need to be as the poor people and the masses need to be as organized as the handful of people are at the top, because they are really organized and we are scattered all over the place. So more community organizations, more community meetings, more community will build into something that state and city can go along with. And TJ is the one. She's going to make it happen. So, in case y'all thought she was overdone or whatever,
I can be.
but you're not going to be. She's not over or done. She's here to stay
No,
and stuff. And unfortunately, I'm not.
we need our voices to be heard.
Yes.
And we need the right to speak our minds and freedom to do so, which thank God for Twitter,
X for Twitter, for X, formerly known as Twitter.
Because we need to speak our minds. We need the freedom to do that, and we need a president that's going to stand up and do that for us and not going to bend because someone doesn't like their opinions.
And you can support them. $Mike and D. Send your numbers in. And because just like everything, all of this takes money. For her to drive here from Yuma took time and money. And she got to go back too.
Oh boy.
So, but she's a champion because she's like only complained about it's hot. She didn't complain about she had to do any of this.
Oh Lord, it is so hot.
Yeah.
Who turned up the thermostat? I don't know.
This is Arizona, and it's early too. It's early hot. So imagine August. Somebody said the other day, they said, "Oh my God, it's 7 o'clock. It's 90 some degrees, and it's still daylight." I was like, okay, wait until it's 100 degrees and it's midnight. And you'd had one of those 5-foot deep pools. that's like bath water. It's like,
you don't need hot water in the summer.
It's in the pool. Like right now in Arizona, pretty much anywhere in Arizona, you don't actually, this is the only time you can do without an actual hot water heater, because the water is coming straight out of the pipes, hot or cold, hot.
I thought people were kidding about that.
Yeah.
I really did. Okay? And you know what else? Now this is just me. Okay. When I got here, nobody thinks that the desert is dirt. I mean, it's okay. The wind comes through here. You can clean something. It can look nice and shiny, brand new. That wind comes through there, and the dust accumulates on it, and it looks like it's 15 years old, never been cleaned. I thought people were just dirty. Please don't judge me for that.
You Arizonans are just dusty.
That's not funny. Because I was like, this isn't good. How do people live like this? And you know what? They just wiped it down and cleaned it all nice and pretty shiny that morning. Yeah. You know why I know now? Because I do that. And oh no.
Yeah. It is bad. So and you have to want people with nice cars. They always keep. I'm like, now the car wash is king around here. There are so many car washes. I'm like, what? You need this? Yeah. Now I
have a topic for you.
Ooh.
Check this one. So you're in the desert.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's water over here. There's water over there. Plenty of water, right?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
This is the deal. You can get 5 gallons of drinking water for 50 cents. Right?
Right.
The other parts of the country, you are paying top dollar extreme amounts for the water that is a necessity. You have to have it to live. It's nice to have it to bathe.
Yeah.
But seriously, the overcharging of water in this country is ridiculous. And I didn't even realize it till I got to Yuma, Arizona.
So,
I don't know. Do you have 5 gallons here you get of drinking water at those fill up stations for 50 cents?
no, ours is now $1.50.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah, ours is
Don't tell
$1.50 now.
Yuma. Shh. Don't tell Yuma. Because it's still 50 cents for 5 gallons.
50 cents for okay, we all going to Yuma to get water.
But that's just another point. Why do they have to? I mean, water is a necessity. It's a necessity to live. Why then are they charging so much for that water in other parts of the country? Outrageous.
Let me give you one better than that.
Let's hear it.
I grew up in the South, right? In Alabama, Pinson, Alabama, Village Springs. Shout out to the village. And we didn't have running water. My grandfather, we didn't have running water.
Now you're telling on your age.
But in the town that was separated in the middle, half the town was black, the other half was white. And there was a spring, like dead in the middle. And we used to go to and it was just water just bubbling out. As a matter of fact, the little town is called Village Springs. Okay. And it's water just bubbling up everywhere. So in this one particular area, one's got the little water lilies and all this kind of stuff. And they took a 55-gallon drum and cut the bottom out of it and kind of shimmied it down over the spring and put some little pick holes in it so it keeps a level of water all the time. And so we used to, that's where we got our drinking water for probably the past 100 years from that spring. So I grew up with that kind of water, right? In 67, I moved to Kansas City, and and water was okay. I get here in 87, and they are selling water. They got bottled. I had never seen water being sold, and I'm like, they selling water. They got the little dispenser out where you go and put your thing there and get. I'm like, they're selling you water? Really? Okay. At that point, I thought, I need to go back to that spring, put a big thing on it and stuff. Spring water, fresh spring water.
You'd have to buy the rights to that water.
Yeah, I know. And by now, some politician, somebody's probably already figured that out.
They put a fence around it.
Yeah. It's unhealthy. That's what they do. They're like, hey, it's for your own safety.
Well, hey, it could be.
know.
I'm in the process of going to get my water samples here in this next week too.
Ooh, wait a minute. Do you?
That's not a topic right now.
I know, but I'm just going to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you capable of doing bacteria sample stuff? Because a friend of mine and I, one time, we were going to just go into businesses and swab counters and stuff and put in a little petri dish and send it off and see what kind of bacteria are growing. Because one of the things during COVID, right? Everybody's like, spray.
You have no idea.
Wait. Everything is hand sanitizers and everything, right? Okay. The most filthiest place in America where everybody goes, the convenience store, the Circle K, the Quick Trip, and they're getting their sodas and their coffee, and they got their cups, and you got to touch. And before, they had all the little coffee straws in a little box, and you got to touch 12 straws to get your one straw, and then you got to grab the creamer can and sprinkle cream and put it back. You got to grab the sugar with your germ-infested, sinus dripping hands on you, and everything in that whole area. It's got so much freaking bacteria. It's probably bacteria just camped out on the can. Like they got lawn chairs and stuff. Just, oh, here comes somebody. Look alert. And so, and it just, so, so, so you need to have, we need to just go into a Circle K with a little couple of features, just like in the white suit on, and it come in a mask, a hazmat mask. We're from the health department.
I could actually see you doing that.
Yeah. Excuse me, we're with the health department. No problem. Everybody's fine. We're just checking, all on the little bank, the screen where you do your bank card, ATM machine. You got to touch the buttons and stuff. I'm like, yeah, we want to swab all this down. No wonder everybody's dying. Look at here, and then go back, examine it, and then look at the kinds of bacteria that, like, this is from the fountain area at Circle K. And then, like, this got that sound. This is from the Quick Trip at blah, blah, blah. And this is from Safeway. And, all that. You can always think that you're examining what kind of bacteria are in certain areas and stuff. What kind of, because certain parts of the city probably got certain kinds of bacterial fungus in their area that ain't in other people's areas. You know what I mean? And then some of it is cross bacterial, like, okay, this is something that, like, everybody kind of got that and stuff, because we got to figure out what we got.
Well, first off, I would like to interject that I'm not saying anything technically against any specific store, especially Circle K.
Especially.
So, how about any facility that a lot of people go to?
Yes.
And to answer your question, because of the chain of protocols and collecting samples, that would be a bit difficult, but not that it couldn't be done.
Right.
It could be done. Yeah. But there are chains of protocol with that. And also the fact that you're going into not only an establishment, but a little more difficult with franchise establishments because they're not going to like anybody coming in there. They could not come in unexpected either. There are some legal aspects that would have to be addressed there.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, with street news and street TV, we do things different over here.
And now, if you were to go in incognito, kind of.
Oh yeah, no, I was just exaggerating with that.
Could you do that? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course you could do that.
There we go.
I'll give you another one. How about this? And I'm not going to say anyone, anywhere specific. Mm-hmm. But I suggest everybody look at those soda machines because on some occasions you can look underneath those where the ice comes out.
Yeah.
If there is not good housekeeping, they're going to grow a bacteria. It's a fungus. Different types depending on the colors, of course. So if you happen to look in there and it is pink, yellow, green, black, please don't get any ice from there. And that happens at a lot of establishments and that are used all the time.
Yeah.
It's by the housekeeping. That's what you want to refer to.
And you got to imagine that they don't really clean that aspect of it probably as often. They may clean the nozzles that the soda because they don't want them to clog and blah, blah, blah. And they've got some little protocol for that.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, but that little area of cleaning the little ice delivery compartment, man, they just pouring ice in that thing every time.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's difficult to get in there. That's why they make a particular cleaning solution that's in a spray. They could do it if they want to, but a lot of people just neglect to do that.
We are learning things. See, you never know when you have a guest what they're going to bring to the table. This is I will startle you.
What do you have?
This is me
Oh
as a
my
kid.
goodness. Do you
Mm.
want to see?
Ah, that's the
Well,
little
look
boy.
at you. I like the shoes too.
Oh my God. Ain't no telling, boy. My those little shoes. Back then they had the
Those are like Forrest Gump
yeah,
shoes.
back then they had the Buster Brown.
I had a pair of Buster Browns.
And I don't even know if they still make Buster Browns. They were either brown and white or black and white, and it was common, very common.
Well, that's a mighty fine picture there.
Well, thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. I still like the shoes.
Yeah,
I'm a shoe girl.
you're a sugar. Oh, that's right. You
I love
did say
shoes. I
you
love shoes.
you
Yes.
are. See, this is one of my creations too. This is I make um because what I do is I uh I buy
Really?
I buy two shirts, and I take one shirt and cut it up and make a hat, and then accessorize the pants with it, and so it's like a whole combination.
That's kind of creative, don't you think?
Well,
Very nice. Nicely
well,
done.
well, thank you. Thank you. I see you look. She was like all inside.
Well, because I do that too.
Oh. Okay, I'm done with you. I'm done with you. You do too much. You do too
That
much.
was a compliment, though.
Yeah, you are.
I
That is.
did look it over very well. I
Yes.
looked at the stitching. I looked at
Yeah.
how the pattern went together.
Yeah. I saw
You
that.
even stitched around the rim, and
Yes.
that gave it
Yeah. Yeah.
the bending.
Yeah. Yeah. That gave it that stiffness. Yeah. That stuff. That
So you can bend it.
now in that one, I did use, I think, some interfacing and stuff, because I
I got
used to
that.
sew. I used to make clothes, and before I started doing upholstery, and so sewing, interfacing, and collars and cuffs, and all that kind of stuff was a part of some things. Lapels and things need to have a stiffness and stuff. So,
Silk is a whole different ball game.
yes, sewing is, and every girl should be taught to sew. And they took home ec out of school. Home ec,
Oh, wait a minute. Every girl,
well,
I think every interest should be offered sewing.
well, it won't. Okay.
Have you seen the little boy that is on Instagram? He's like a tiny little boy. He is a fashion designer. He's sewing. They take him. He picks out the most beautiful fabrics,
Uh-huh.
and these creations that he's making at this young age. It's I don't even have any words for that.
Keith Brewster, hello, in Paris, France. I got a first cousin that's a fashion designer right now in Paris. But sometimes, you know, we are all genetically predisposed based on our ancestral traits to do certain things
Oh no.
and stuff.
Mm-mm.
Some people have gifts that have been handed down. Everyone in their family knows how to do it.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And because, like, on my side, my grandfather's side of the family, all of his sisters were seamstresses. All of their daughters were seamstresses, and this my nephew, my first cousin, he's one of that family lineage. And then my one sister, when I moved with her from the south, because I didn't know that about that. I saw my cousins and them sewing, but I never know. And my grandmother, my great aunt, my grandfather's sister, she did quilting. They had the things on the stilts, and they, making the freaking quilts that were like
Beautiful.
25 pounds. You get under this quilt, you didn't need heat and stuff. So, but when I moved with my sister, my sister and I have different fathers. So my sister is from that bloodline, from that side. So she was she would come home from work. She worked for like AT&T or something when I was in high school. She would come home from work with some fabric, Butterwick or Simplistic or McCall pattern, cut out some stuff, and wear it to work the next day. I was like, very interesting. I like that. And then after I went to the military and got out of the military, I was like, I don't need to be able to come up fast in Kansas City. I need to be in style. It's the show me state. I'm like, I'm broke. So I said, well, I just make my own stuff. A couple of my partners was getting this stuff tailor made. And I'm like, So I went to junior college and took a sewing class. In junior college, I said, it must be genetic. This ain't gonna be nothing. I said, my sister can do it. All of my aunts, this is gonna be a breeze. Sure enough, my first project, a teacher says, go out and get a pattern, get some material, something simple, come back. Cool. I went to the store, got a two-piece blazer and trousers pattern and stuff. And she says, why you get stuff so complicated? I'm like, what do you mean complicated? I'm in class, you're the instructor. We just cut it out like it's supposed to be. I sew it up and I wear it to the club. What are you talking about? And so I sewed that up. After that, it was a wrap. I was like, oh no, because that was like it was out of brushed denim, tan denim, and I'm like, okay. After that, I went straight flashy. After that, it was all Irish linen. It had metallic. It was like, oh no. Now we just show off.
That's a gift.
So
that was truly a gift,
Yeah.
And it is.
And so, but some people are just predisposed to learn stuff. Some people are just good learners. They see something, they're like, oh, I think I can do that.
But it has to do with interest too.
Well, my sister, when she was raising her two sons, rest in peace to Richard, one of them had a accident, but she says, you know what? I don't know what these boys are going to end up liking. I'm just going to take them to see everything. And she take them to the museum, she says, I'm just going to expose them to everything. They got to like something.
That's what China does.
Yeah, and stuff. And so, and whatever they cater to, that's what we're doing. Mm-hmm. Whatever. And that's kind of how you're supposed to raise children. Because it's like if you put a bunch of crayons out in front of them and tell them to pick one. Well, the one they pick is the color that they like. Now, from there, you could paint their room that color. You could do whatever, or anything else that you introduce to them, and they gravitate to. Okay, that's what they eat. Now you need to start flooding them with that and stuff. If they're always drawing and doing, okay, go get that drawing kit. It's like, hey, here's some drawing instructions. Let's see if we can make that happen and stuff, but people don't pay attention to their children anymore. Because now it's all about them and what they like and what they want. So the children are just tossed stuff that they saw on TV, like, yeah, all the kids are doing this here. All the kids are doing that. All right. You know what I mean? And just force feed them stuff because they don't have time to sit down, have conversations. Well, Johnny, what do you want?
Or then you have a case where some children are so brightly intelligent and they do not get not only the structure or the encouragement to flourish in that avenue.
Yeah.
Because they go to school where this is the book we're reading today. Well, that bright child might have already read that book.
Yeah.
And so then they're suppressed to stay with the group.
Well, interesting that you would uh, say that. When I grew up in the South, we had um, a 2-room trailer. We had 2 trailers butted up to each other. We had 2 teachers. One teacher taught first through the third, and the other one taught the fourth to the fifth. I mean, fourth, fifth, and sixth, right? And this teacher that taught first, second, and third grade, she could teach any of those kids what they needed to know and stuff. She teach the first graders herself, the second graders, third graders, and
So they had room to excel by 2 grades.
because a teacher should be able to get on this kid's level, wherever the kid's at. The teacher's already up here. I've graduated from school. I did all this. I know all of the knowledge from no knowledge to a lot and all in between. I should be able to see where that kid is.
Or they test them.
Well, yeah. But even in interaction and having a conversation with the kid, write this, they can tell how they hold a pencil, how they can tell a lot of things.
Their interaction with other children and how they articulate their sentences and words.
But yeah, the teaching is just a
Go
job.
ahead and say
it's
it.
just a job. I go, I get my 8 hours in,
There you go.
get that check, and I'm out of here. And they don't demand from the school system that my children that I teach meet a certain standard, that I'm being judged by how successful my kids are.
Guidelines, protocol, and accountability.
Oh, you go again with those guidelines, protocol, and accountability.
Hey, look here. Let's say you have a really well-mannered. Some of them are not well-mannered.
Right.
Because what happens sometimes is they are so intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are smart enough to dumb themselves down when they are in the presence of someone who's not appreciative of it or punishes them for it.
Right.
But some of them it has a bigger effect on. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the times the teachers don't want to deal with it. Not that there's not good teachers. There's great teachers and they need to be compensated for, and that's true. So I'm all for the teacher compensation.
Yeah.
But therefore
they got to earn it.
It's a system and they have to earn it. And be thankful if you get a good teacher that cares about your child.
Oh boy.
Because that is amazing and it's becoming harder to find.
You know what? I had a lady, her daughter wasn't doing well in math, I think, and so she did summer school. And so while she was doing summer school, she was getting everything right.
Good teacher.
Good freaking teacher.
Good teacher.
Teachers matter. Teachers matter, and their process matters, and that's part of being a good teacher. Having a good process of delivering the information in such a way that the kid can't get it wrong. It's like, okay, first, do this. Second, that. Third.
You have to reach people when you're in a position, when you're in that type of a position. You have to be able to have the knowledge and understanding to be able to reach people, not just children, because you also have to be able to reach their parents as well. That's why there's teacher-parent meetings and days.
And they don't go to
we
the
don't have
parent
very much of that anymore.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Because the parents so busy. The parent, sorry about this, single parents, they got to work 12 jobs. They got to work like a Jamaican just to try to keep food on the table. Huh?
A Jamaican? Are you picking on Jamaicans now?
Well, I mean, Jamaicans are known for working 4, 5, 6 jobs. Yeah, they just known for working hard. So so you can use it as a kind of stereotypical joke.
I was just double checking that.
That's okay. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm gonna be able to do with this lady here. She's double checking a lot of stuff.
I'm trying to keep you on your toes.
Okay, that's not a problem. I'm gonna be looking like a ballet dancer by the time she gets through. I'll be on my toes.
We'll be calling Debbie Allen. You need to go over there anyway.
Miss Dancer.
You want to talk to Byron over there?
Yeah, Miss. See, we got a lot of things to talk about because a lot of young girls need stuff like that, like little dance classes, little stuff to keep them busy, occupied, and disciplined. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
there's a lot of discipline in that people don't realize.
You know, but
Mm.
it is, yes, a lot of discipline in dance because
Theater.
and because of posture and I mean, so you got to be physically fit to do dance and do theater. You got to,
Didn't Dwayne Johnson did a movie where he took dance. Do you remember?
yeah. Oh, called what was that? The Russian. What was that? What was the That wasn't the White Knight. Oh, what was that? Was it White Knight? What was that?
Well, it wasn't a tooth fairy. I thought that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah, that was but a lot of times you have to, in order, even with when the people were doing Dancing with the Stars,
Yes.
they were showing how, okay, okay, this is physical. This is not
Very.
just we no, no. You got to, and especially if you got to pick pick somebody.
That was impressive.
Yeah, that you got to do that.
Yeah.
So and it is a process, and she's got to trust the process that he's got it. Like
They drop you sometimes.
They
But also in that dropping, sometimes when you fly, as a matter of fact, if, for example, in Dirty Dancing, when they were practicing, there's a way that you fly so that they can catch you in a certain way so that you don't throw their back out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
There is a huge process there, as for example, in that movie where that happened.
Okay.
That's
See,
real.
You guys can learn a lot here. We're going to have to do more shows. We're about an hour and a half in, and I know you probably got some things that
I have 14 articles that I'm working on.
She has 14 articles now.
Yes, I do.
When we are expecting some of you donors. She's got 14 articles, and each one of these articles is going to take time.
Look here.
And money.
It's everything from children to teenagers and elderly. Some of it has to do with medical. There are some things that people are facing right now. There's things that are needed, necessary to everyday living. I'm working on several different things and the education of those things that need to be learned.
Okay. So this is going to be kind of an indirect Trump show because it is a TJ show.
Oh no.
It's a TJ show.
No.
Because TJ has got, like Ann Landers or so back in the day had a little column and they always got the little storage thing. So in our political section of PhoenixStreetNews.com and TV and radio, we have TJ's Corner, kind of sort of. And
I have a few things to stick in that corner, and we're gonna put it out there.
And so look for everything conservative American politics coming to you from TJ. And she is headquarters in Yuma, Arizona, and is visiting today in Phoenix. And I met her at the Trump rally, and here we are. And just in having a conversation, she actually showed up. So I am shocked.
Well, I'm
and stuff that people follow through still. And so until next time, ladies and gentlemen, y'all like and share the show by all means, and stay tuned. We've got more stuff coming.
Absolutely.
As a matter of fact, so I don't want y'all to think this is the end of what you're going to see with TJ or TJ and I right here. So stay tuned. We'll we'll make sure we give you this little, remember, your ads are welcome at PSN Radio and TV. This program is brought to you by PhoenixStreetNews.com, the Valley's news and entertainment directory that caters to bars, nightclubs, restaurants, and other entertainment venues and provides quality digital advertising and now TV and radio. We are a licensed OTT system. Thank you. Ooh. And where are we before we say good evening? We need to make sure we got us